Orleans girls basketball is on the air. Q100 WFLQ. This exciting coverage of Orleans Lady Bulldog basketball. And tonight's game with the Northeast Dubois Lady Jeeps being brought to you by Music Insurance in Orleans for home, farm, health, auto, life, and business. Call 865-2626. By Hall Brothers Transportation in Orleans, meeting the shipping needs of the area for over 3 decades. The Super Clean Car Wash, Maple Street, Orleans. Orange County REMC. Offering affordable long distance. Call 865-2229 or toll free at 888-337-5900. And now, Lady Bulldog basketball. Let's go courtside with Q100's Mike Hamilton and Kevin Terrell.
From the gymnasium at Northeast Dubois High School in Dubois, Indiana, this is Orleans girls basketball, where tonight the Lady Bulldogs play the second game in 3 nights, and what will turn out to be 3 out of 4 as they play their first road game of the 2017-18 season, taking on the host Lady Jeeps. Hi again, everyone. Mike Hamilton being joined by former Spring Valley coach Kelly Schmidt as coach in her familiar stomping grounds, having graduated from here not too many years ago. We won't talk about that, I guess, but Orleans picking up their first victory of the season on Tuesday night with a big win over Shoals. Meanwhile, Dubois struggling a little bit as they have come out of the gate with a record of 0-4. So you look at Orleans, Kelly, from the standpoint they want to continue to build momentum from Tuesday night. Meanwhile, for Coach Andy Chin in his second year, I'm sure they want to kind of get that monkey off the back, so to speak.
Yeah, definitely do. Coach Chin is in his second season, like you said, and he's hungry for some victories just like his kids are. And they've lost the nail-biter there to South Knox in overtime, scored a lot of points, but just weren't able to pull out the victory, and they're going to be hungry for one here tonight against Orleans.
All right. Getting on a couple of minutes late. We had some technical difficulties. We think we have those rectified. So we are about 8 or so minutes away from tip-off. Coming up next will be the Orleans girls basketball report as we hear from head coach Jared Gilbert. That comes up next. This is Orleans girls basketball.
When it comes to buying insurance, you want a company that will take the guesswork out of finding the proper coverage at premiums that are affordable. At the Busick Insurance Agency in Orleans, your auto owner's agent, they'll work with you to determine the right amount of coverage. To get the best protection for home, health, auto, life, and business, call Patton or Brett Busick or Josh Crocker or Richard Grace at the Busick Insurance Agency, your auto owner's agent on East Jefferson Street in Orleans at 865-2626. Busick Insurance, a proud supporter of Orleans Bulldog sports.
This is the Orleans Girls Basketball Report with head coach Jared Gilbert as the Lady Bulldogs go on the road to face Northeast Dubois. Well, Coach, nice to pick up the team's first win on Tuesday night, a solid victory over Shoals, and it literally was a team victory from the standpoint that all 10 of the kids that you got in there were able to score.
Yeah, it was. We had some kids really step up and came off the bench and gave us a huge lift there. When we were struggling a little bit early on, defensively a little bit, stopping them inside. They continued to go what worked for them and did a nice job. And I thought in the second quarter when we went to 1-3-1 with Haley up top, did a nice job of making them uncomfortable and making some mistakes, and that led to some points and kind of got us going. But it definitely, I thought overall we all, down the line had done something positive, and it was definitely a team effort for us.
Indeed, 46 of the 67 points came from your bench. That basically tells me that these kids are pretty interchangeable, and probably you can go 8, 9, and even 10 players deep. Yeah,
we feel like that's one thing we have is a pretty competitive, group here with a lot of people. They're interchangeable, and one game to the next, it may change our starting lineups occasionally, just to mix it up, and sometimes just for matchup purposes. So, I don't think anything's set in stone as far as that goes. I think we'll need them all at times this year, and we definitely feel confident in the ones that we have that can step up and give us some positive things and help us hopefully get better as the year goes on.
Sometimes you have a game plan, especially things you want to do defensively. You had to kind of change those around a little bit last night. Was that more out of choice or simply because you kind of needed to?
A little bit of both. Early on here, I like to mix it up and we play different stuff throughout the game anyway. And for the most part, last night they were hurting us inside. So in the second half, we really decided we'd just play zone and pack it in and make them show that they can hit outside shots, and if they were going to beat us, to beat us from the outside and not let the big girls inside hurt us. And we were much more physical, I thought, and we did a much better job of keeping the ball out of their hands in the second half with our zone. And I think that led to a lot of easy points and really got us going. And something I thought we could take advantage of was pushing the ball up. And also I thought we warmed down a little bit just with playing 10, 11 girls that they wore down a little bit with only playing 6 or 7.
The things you just described there, were those some of the areas that you felt like you did a better job in than in the Bar Reeve and Crothersville games? Oh yeah, definitely. We struggled somewhat defensively for the most part in both of those games, especially in the Crothersville game with their big girl inside. She hurt us, and we didn't do a good enough job of keeping the ball out of our hands, and we didn't really give our post players enough help. And I thought last night that we did a much better job of that after the first quarter of packing it in and helping out. And there's certain games where Crothersville had some shooters where we had to stay out on. We really couldn't give as much help, so that was one of the problems there. But last night we knew that we had to pack it in and make them shoot it from outside, and so I thought we adjusted pretty well. And overall defensively, I liked our effort much better than the first 2 games. We talked a little bit about this before last night's game, that you're going into a stretch, probably the most compact stretch of the schedule. 4 games in 7 days. Got the day off on Wednesday, and then you come back here, and you're still looking at 3 games over the next 5 days, including back-to-back, and both of them on the road. And certainly with this being your first road test, I'm sure you're anxious to see how the kids will come out. Yeah, you never know what to expect going on the road. At times we played well on the road last year, so I think we'll be confident going down to a tough place to play in Dubois. That's not an easy place to go in and win. They got a very experienced team. They start 5 seniors, and so it's definitely going to be a challenge with our young kids that we have playing, and some of their first on the road varsity action that they'll see. But at the same time, that's how you learn and that's how you get better. And so we're excited to go and play. And then, it'll be a big challenge for us Thursday night with Dubois, and then follow it up with a good Bloomfield team on Friday. Tell us a little bit more about what you know of Andy Chin's team. Well, they're like I said, they're very experienced. They do a nice job of just running, being patient, running their stuff that they do, and get the ball inside. And they got some girls that can shoot it, and they're physical defensively, and they make you work for everything. They don't give you anything easy, and so it's one of those things. They mix it up as far as defense. There's games where they'll play zone most of it, but they can always go man to man. They press a little bit, so we'll have to be really ready for anything, and I think it'll definitely be a test for us, just from their experience standpoint and their physical play, that we'll have to handle it and definitely handle the ball. And for one thing, I thought we've done better so far this year is handle the ball compared to last year when we really struggled turning the ball over. So if we can do that and make some shots, I like our chances of staying in the game and hopefully having a chance come the fourth quarter. All right, let's hope that all comes about.
And that is Jared Gilbert on the Orleans girls basketball report prior to tonight's contest, as the Lady Bulldogs get set to take on the Northeast Dubois Lady Chiefs. We're ready to take a look at the starting lineups in the contest. First 4, Northeast Dubois. They come in with a record of 0-4, and they are 0-3 here. This is the 5th, or make that the 4th of a 6-game homestand. They'll take on Wood Memorial on Monday, and then the Tuesday after Thanksgiving they will host Washington Catholic. They'll go with 5 seniors in the lineup. The forwards, Courtney Quinn, 5'8" at 3.8 a game. Alex Dotson, 6 foot at almost 4 per contest. And the 3-guard combination, Addison Denyu, 5'7" at 6.5 a contest. Tyler Rashi at 5'7", 11.3, leads the team in scoring. And Claire Mangin, 5'8" at 5.5 points per game. Andy Chin in his second year as head coach in Dubois, 13-15, the record. For Orleans, a little change from Tuesday night. It'll be Audrey Elrod at one of the forwards, 5'7", a junior at 8.3. Haley Powell, 6-foot freshman at 10 a game, now leading the team. And she will jump it here with Alex Dotson. And Dotson wins the tip, and we are underway. Maddie Jones, 5'7", junior at nearly 6 a contest in the middle. And the guards, freshman Peyton Blanton, making her first ever start at 3.3 a game, and 5'7" junior Sydney Moon at almost 6 points per contest. And a nice feed as Tyler Rashi gets a beautiful pass from Claire Mangin and lays it up and in, a nice little backdoor cut, and Dubois is on the board first. And as we get into the front court, the freshman Peyton Blanton finding out how tough Northeast Dubois' defense can be. As she gets tied up, the arrow is pointing Orleans' way. 2-0 early on Dubois. We are just underway as out front Sydney Moon with the basketball. Goes off now to Audrey Elrod, who drives down the lane. Drew contact, no call. And the rebound pulled out of there by Northeast Dubois. Definitely enough contact there to warrant a foul, nothing called. On the right side for the Lady Jeeps is Addison Denyu. They swing it around here against the Orleans zone. Denyu makes the catch on the right side, up top to Rashi. Jumps it off now to Courtney Quinn. Picks up the dribble. Looks for somewhere to go and jumps it back out to Denyu. It's possession now 30 seconds old as the Orleans defense doing the job. Sliding off the screen is Denyu. Works it in low. It comes off to Mangin. Now they go weak side to Rashi, who drives in. Little fall away is no good. And this time they will call a foul. As they say, Sydney Moon putting a little bit too much pressure despite the fall away. And actually they will put it on Maddie Jones. And she will pick up the first foul of the contest, and free throws to Tyler Rashi, the first of which is up and good.
Coach Chin over here on the sideline, he wants his Jeeps to quit dribbling the basketball and make some good decisions with it with passing, and they find a nice opening there with Rashi.
Both free throws are good, and Dubois off to a quick 4-0 start as we see some full court pressure being applied by the Lady Jeeps. Orleans breaks it, and as Blanton drives, we'll get a reach in this time on the Lady Jeeps. Odie Broughton, one of our officials. I know Don Pruse is the other, and not quite sure who the other
I'm
official
terrible
is.
with names, so I would be of no help to you, Mike.
Oh, come on. You've seen thousands of officials
I'm
in
sure
your
I've
day.
yelled at all three of these guys, but I couldn't tell you their names to save my life.
All right, Courtney Quinn picked up that foul. Non-shooting foul, so it belongs to Orleans. Man-to-man defense being applied by the Lady Jeeps. On the high post, Elrod turns, drives it into the lane, kicks it on the wing to Powell. Haley takes it to the baseline, feeds it along to Elrod, and as she drives the baseline, good job by Audrey to take it strong to the rack, and she'll be on the line twice. And I think that's what you got to try to do, Kelly, against this Northeast Dubois defense.
Yeah, Dubois right now trying to play that tight man-to-man, and she used a nice shot fake there and had a nice baseline drive. Puts herself at the line for 2 shots.
And they also got the second foul on Courtney Quinn as well. So Andy Chin will have to go to his bench early as Audrey unsuccessful with the first free throw after shooting 8 of 22 against Crothersville. Orleans a little better against Shoals. They were 11 of 17 and now 1 out of 2 as Audrey hits the second one. So Orleans is on the board. 4-1 lead for the Lady Jeeps on the Busick Insurance scoreboard. We have played a little over 2 minutes, and a traveling violation on the player who just checked in, Madison Cave, a 5'6" sophomore. Got to figure she's their super sub, averaging 7.5 a game, and unforced turnover there. She got it across the 10-second line and took an extra step after she picked up the dribble. More pressure along the half court. They feed it down low to Haley Powell, and her shot blocked away and out of bounds as Alex Dotson got over there, much to the delight of the Jeep fans, and swatted that one out of bounds.
Nice defensive play there inside. Orleans retains possession, see if they can't get something out of bounds.
Elrod looks to get it in, lobs it in to Elrod off to Blanton. She'll launch an 18-footer. It is no good. Ball tapped around. Elrod had it, and now it's picked up by Claire Mangin. Off it comes now to Denyu. Kicks it baseline to Rossi. Tyler has all four of the Dubois points. Mangin tries to change that, but her little turnaround inside the paint too strong. Here's Moon back the other way. Stop and go move all the way to the goal. Lays it up and in. Good recognition by Sydney that time, as nobody picked her up. She stopped at the foul line, saw nobody there in front of her, and just took it right to the rack. And Orleans has their first field goal, and they pulled it within one now at 4-3 with 3 minutes played.
Orleans looks like they've switched up their defense a little bit, going with more of a flattened out 3-2, or what some people would say a 1-2-2, trying to get Dubois to put some easy shots up on this outside perimeter.
I think that's what Jared Gilbert likes to do. He takes pride in kind of switching up those defenses, see what works out best. And there's another backdoor lob down low to Rashi. Tyler lost it, however, but it's recovered out front by Denyu. Can't get the shot off. Still has it between the circles, drives it left, tries to direct traffic. Now comes back on the right side to Cave, to Denyu, around to Rashi, and low to Mangin. Takes the dribble, lost it off her leg, picked up by Sydney Moon. First turnover of the contest, I think, by either team. Little baseline drive by Haley Powell, and she got the kind bounce. And that's one thing you gotta like out of Haley Powell. She knows what to do with a basketball, and for a freshman, Kelly, pretty fearless out there.
Pretty solid move right there. I think Dubois was a little thrown off that she put that ball on the floor and went to the rim. Orleans right now 5-4 lead, and they seem they've got a little fire in them.
Andy Chin having to call a timeout. Things started out well as Dubois got out to a 4-0 lead, but Orleans has recovered here over the last couple minutes.
Yeah, I think changing up those defenses is going to be key for Orleans. It's got the Dubois guards out on the perimeter kind of holding the basketball, unsure what to do with it. And they're definitely a passing team and sometimes can break apart zones fairly easy, but when you throw different ones at them, it could be something that plays havoc for them tonight.
So play back in as Orleans just taking their first lead of the contest. We're halfway through the opening quarter. Out front, Cave works it around now to Denyu. Kicks it down to the corner to another new face in the lineup. That is Cameron Stemley. Out it comes now to Madison Cave, and she drops in a mid-range jumper from just to the left of the foul line. So Cave has Dubois' first bench points. They regain the lead now. And down on the other end, short shot missed by Orleans. Long rebound grabbed by Moon. Takes it to the baseline on the wing to Maddie Jones for a 12-footer that would not go. Good block out by Cameron Stemley, and they're going to get Haley Powell for a rebounding foul. That'll be her first, second on Orleans.
Still a nice solid move there by Powell. Has a nice little up and under and didn't quite get it to go.
Jacqueline Gherkin becomes Orleans' first sub as she checks in. Jackie, the 5'7" sophomore, averaging less than a point a game. She's off to a slow start, but you know she's too good a player to stay down for long, and eventually she'll get these doldrums worked out and be back to her normal effective self. Here's Stemley on the right side, throws it out top to Denyu, who'll launch a three-pointer off the rim. Rebound to Stemley, goes down low and threw it away. Jacqueline Gherkin stepped into the passing lane and took it away. 2:45 to go. Fast-moving opening quarter. Dubois a 1-point leader on the Busick board. Blanton bounces away now to Gherkin on the right side, drives it to the foul line, kicks it to Blanton, moves it around now to Moon. Sydney turns, hands it baseline to Powell, back out of the wing to Elrod. Looks for somewhere to go, jumps it off to Blanton at the point. Back over to Moon, left side. Into the lane it goes to Gherkin, and Jackie a little undecided on what she wanted to do with the basketball, and the indecision cost her. She is called for a travel.
A little cat and mouse game here. Coach Chin changes up his defense on the Dubois side. They go to a 2-3 zone there, and Orleans is a little hesitant and gets a turnover.
Brooklyn Knight into the ball game now for Orleans for the first time. A 5'4" sophomore at 2 points a contest. Orleans staying in that 3-2 zone, and then you tried to throw it right into Rashi, right into the teeth of that, and Orleans just collapsed the defense and forced the hell ball, though it will stay with the Lady Jeeps. Then you will trigger it in, baseline, left to the hoop, into the lane to Rashi for a quick 5-footer, and that, Kelly, too easy as Dubois is able to break down Orleans off the inbound.
Yeah, nice little cutting move that Dubois has done for many years, and they're able to score 2 easy points off of it.
That's 5 now for Rashi, and it's 8-5. Dubois with a 3-point lead. Here's Knight, quick 3 on the way, air ball. Oh, and Cameron Stemley couldn't hang on to the rebound.
Right off her fingertips.
Stay on the Orleans end. Jenna Whalen is now into the ball game for the Lady Dogs. She's the Dogs version of a super sub at 6'7" per contest, 5'7" senior. She's got it on the left side, quick 3 on the way. That's an air ball. Powell fights for the rebound, can't get it. Dubois doing a pretty good job of blocking out Haley.
Yeah, she didn't have much area to work there. They were definitely pinching her there on that bottom of the zone.
And you know very well, Kelly, how tough it is, the adjustment you got to make. You're playing junior high ball 1 year, and then boom, all of a sudden varsity the next, and a lot of adjustments to have to make. Out of the corner, jump shot is good. Madison Cave hits another one.
I'll tell you what, she's a heck of a shooter, and that's why she's in here right now, to get these Jeeps a little momentum. Well,
since Andy Chin called that timeout, Dubois is on a 6-0 run, and they've opened up their biggest lead at 10-5 with a minute to go in the quarter. Knight, top of the key to Blanton. Hands off now to Whalen. Jenna takes it to the top of the circle, works it left side to Powell. 10-footer on the way, would not go. And Stemley pulls the rebound out of there, and Andy Chin says, let's slow it down and work the offense. Orleans has missed their last 5 shots now. Here is Cave, works it around to Denyu at the point, sends it over to Rashi, in low to Stemley, layup, good. Good ball movement, and that has always been a trademark of Dubois. They pass the ball extremely well. Stemley with her first 2, suddenly it's 12-5, and as Orleans breaks the pressure, Durkin tried to go cross-court to a cutting Brooklyn Knight, and Claire Manchin got a hand on it, knocked it out of bounds.
Tell you what, Dubois doesn't have a lot of size on the floor right now, but they definitely have a lot of cutters throughout the middle of that lane, and they're getting some wide open shots underneath.
Ball comes into Powell. She kind of forced one up that time with the defender all over her, missed it. 20 seconds to go. Dubois has suddenly opened up a 7-point lead as they're on an 8-0 run, and now Denyu backs it out to the center jump circle with 10 seconds to go as they'll play for the final shot of the quarter. Denyu to the right side, now back to the middle of the floor with 4, with 3 around to Rashi. 3 on the way by Tyler is short, and we're going to get a rebounding foul, I think, on Dubois as time runs out here in the opening quarter. We'll sort it out when we come back, but after 1 on the Busick Insurance scoreboard from Dubois, it is the Lady Jeeps leading the Lady Bulldogs 12-5. Back with the second quarter in a moment. This is Orleans girls basketball.
Hall Brothers Transportation in Orleans, a name that has stood for dependability for many years, is proud to continue their support of the Orleans Bulldogs and to the many events and activities of the school and the community as well. They realize the importance athletics have on our young people in building character and to adults in experiencing the thrill of high school sports. Hall Brothers Transportation has been serving the shipping needs of much of the Midwest, providing the link to keep businesses strong and our area's economy growing.
Hall Brothers Transportation, Highway 37 in Orleans, serving the area since 1979.
Orange County REMC is now offering you affordable protection for your home. Home security systems are available for members and non-members and will provide protection from fire, carbon monoxide, and theft. These systems are continuously monitored, so you'll have a peace of mind whether you're at home, work, or on vacation. You might even qualify for a discount on your homeowner's premium. Packages starting at $199 with monitoring starting at $24.95. For more information on these home services, call Orange County REMC at 812-865-2229.
This is Orleans Junior forward Audrey Elrod. Thanks for listening to Lady Bulldogs basketball right here on Q100.
Back we come to Northeast Dubois as we start the second quarter. Orleans in possession as the teams more or less trade turnovers. Orleans was working it around, lost the ball, but then as Kyla Rossi stole it, she fell over her own feet, ended up called for a traveling violation. And now there is a bona fide turnover as Jacqueline Gherkin tried to cross-court the pass to Jenna Whalen, and it sails over her head and out of bounds.
Orleans is going to switch back to that 2-3 zone. I think they were giving up way too much there on the baseline, and want to see if this adjustment helps that.
Dubois 63% shooting, 5 of 8 in the opening quarter. Orleans was a miserable 2 out of 12, just 17%. Into the lane it goes to Mansion. Pull-up jumper is good. And all of a sudden, Dubois really heating up here as they are now on a 10-0 run. They lead by 9 and make it 11 as they steal the ball in backcourt, and Kyla Rossi gets a nice speed in low. She's got 7, and suddenly the lead has grown to 11 as Jared Gilbert has to take a timeout. And boy, things have turned here, Kelly, against the Lady Bulldogs in a hurry.
Yeah, Dubois is going that first pass. They're getting over there and trapping pretty quick. And Orleans guards have got to do a better job of making sure they get that ball out of the corner before the trap comes. Looks like they also need somebody in the middle, but that isn't quite happening quick enough, and I'm sure they're going to make some adjustments here with this timeout.
This has always been a tough place to play. In fact, when the series began or resumed, we're not sure. We only have the records back to the 2000-2001 season. Orleans has not won on this floor. In fact, they've only won twice in the 16 years since these teams have been playing. There's a foul on Tyler Rossi as Dubois continuing to apply full court pressure. That is her first, the 4th team foul. As again, Orleans will have to get it in against full court pressure, and Brooklyn Knight called for a traveling violation, and turnover starting to mount here.
Yeah, right now Orleans has turned it over 4 times in this quarter, and we're only a minute 4 into it. That Dubois pressure's playing a lot of havoc for him.
Madison Cave out on the floor along with Claire Manchin, Alex Dodson, Cameron Stemley, and also Amberly Jacob, a 5'7" sophomore. Long shot missed by Cave. Now here's a run out ahead to Sydney Moon, and she missed the left-handed layup. Rebound grabbed by Alex Dodson. That would have ended an 11-0 run for the Lady Jeeps as Orleans has absolutely gone ice cold from the floor right now. Jacob works it around now to Manchin. Back in low to Jacob, and she draws the foul. She goes up. Jared Gilbert can't believe the call, and they'll give the foul to Audrey Elrod.
Yeah, I think right there he's arguing that there's a lot of contact on this press, but down here in the half court, it's a little tic-tac. So.
Free throw up and good by Amberly Jacob. Well, Orleans kind of having their roles reversed. Against Shoals, the bench outscored the Lady Rocks 46-0, but right now it is 7-0 in favor of Dubois. And there is Claire Manchin hitting a 3, and it's going from bad to worse in a hurry. Here is Moon, baseline to Powell, drives in, throws up the little runner and got it. Haley Powell finally breaks the ice as Orleans went over 6.5 minutes without a point. In the meantime, Dubois ran off 16 straight, and the lead's at 20-7 for the Lady Jeeps at the 5:45 mark of this second quarter on the Busick Insurance Board.
Orleans coming out a little man-to-man here, see if they can get some momentum, maybe some transition baskets.
Here is Stemley out front, picks up the dribble, looks to get rid of it, does now to Cave. Guarded out there by Elrod, lobs it off to Manchin, comes back off now to Cave, jumps it off now to Jacob. Amberly Jacob drives it right, pulls up on the wing, goes back off to Manchin, drives it into the lane, dumps it off to Stemley, who takes it into the lane. Pull-up jumper, no good. And the rebound pulled out of there by Sydney Moon. Orleans pushing it. Sydney pulls up top of the key, kicks it off to Blanton, who's back in there. Over on the left side now to Elrod. Just under 5 minutes remaining here in the first half. As looks like Dubois here, Kelly, going a little zone.
Yeah, they're going to switch back to that flattened out 3-2.
And that leaves Peyton Blanton wide open from the top of the arc, and she buries a three. So how's that for busting a zone?
Coach Chin over here scratching his head.
20-10, so Orleans has bounced back with 5 straight, and they almost got the turnover, a bad pass, but fortunately for Dubois, they recover, and now we're going to get an illegal screen here called on the Lady Jeeps. And let's see who the guilty party is here. I think they got Madison Cave. That'll be her first. Team's 5th. Tyler Rossi back in, Madison Cave out. Orleans playing with Peyton Blanton, Audrey Elrod, Sydney Moon, Haley Powell, and Maddie Jones is back in there now for the Lady Dogs. Sydney has it, works it in low to Haley Powell, baseline to Audrey Elrod, her three way down to the well and back out. Offensive rebound by Jones. Kicks it off to Elrod in the corner, takes it into the lane, jumps it off to Maddie Jones for a 10-footer, no good. Rebound, Blanton back up and good. Boy, Dubois just stood around that time. The ball hit the floor, and Peyton Blanton, just to the left of the rim, said, I'll pick it up and score. And then a traveling violation here on Tyler Rossi, as suddenly things have done a total about-face.
Yeah, right there, a couple nice possessions for Orleans. Able to get a couple offensive rebounds and a foot back, and then comes down on the other end and causes a turnover.
They work it into Moon, and her pass tipped and stolen away by Addison Denyu, who's back in there. So Orleans on a 7-0 run after they saw Dubois go on a 15-0 run. 3:25 to go in the half, 8-point Dubois lead. At the foul line is Manchin. Turns all the way around to Rossi. Back into Manchin. Knocked away. And it's picked up by Maddie Jones. Looking to get rid of it. Does off now to Blanton. Quickly into the front court it comes to Powell. Haley on the wing. Free throw line now to Mood. Sydney goes back to Haley. 12-footer on the way. Yes, indeed. So Haley Powell showing her mid-range abilities as she picks up her 6-point. It's a 9-0 streak for the Lady Dogs, and they have cut the deficit, which was once 15, down to 6. Then you picks up the ball, gets it into a cutting Rossi, who forces one up, not even close. Another Orleans rebound, and the Lady Dogs have recovered well when things were really going south for them.
Orleans doing a better job using some pass fakes, getting the Dubois defense to shift a little bit, and then getting the ball inside to Powell.
Moon has it out front, works it around now to Blanton. Peyton works it around to Elrod, down low to Powell, tries to feed it in low to Audrey Elrod, kicks it back out now to Moon. 2:12 to go here in the half. Orleans with an opportunity to cut a 6-point lead down as Audrey Elrod launches a three, and it hits the rim a couple of times and bounces off. And Dubois comes back the other way. Addison Denyu running the point now for the Lady Jeeps. Calls out the play. She wants her teammates to run. Slides off the Dodson screen. Still on the dribbles, deep on the left wing. Keeps backing out. Now drives it right. Turns it back left. Kicks it off now to Jacob. Jacob takes it between the circles and threw it away. Or did she? No. No whistle. Apparently Manchin saved it, but it's picked up by Orleans. Here's Blanton. Oh, and she throws the ball away. As Orleans had another opportunity, and I think just got in too big a hurry right there, Kelly.
Yeah, that's the 6th turnover of the quarter for Orleans. Started this quarter strong with quite a few turnovers in a row, and then had really tightened it up and got themselves closer, but now they've committed a couple turnovers here of late.
Well, you'd rather be up than down when you look at the alternative of being down by 15. The fact that Orleans has cut it to 6 certainly has to make things a little better. And there's a reach-in foul that'll go on Audrey Elrod as She tried to reach from behind and strip the ball away from Denyu. And that'll be 2 now on Audrey Elrod. So she becomes the first Lady Dog to pick up 2 on the 4th team foul. So no free throws. Off the inbounds, it comes in now to Denyu. Minute to go here in the half. Maddie on the dribble, being hawked out there by Maddie Jones. Slides off the Dodson screen. Goes to a cutting Mansion. Down the lane she goes. Baseline, it comes off now to Cave, who missed it. Good block out by Jackie Gherkin. Jackie back the other way, slows it down, gives it off now to Blanton with 40 seconds to go. Around now to Elrod. This will be the 3rd straight possession Orleans has had a chance to cut that lead to below 6 points. Both teams have been stuck on 20-14. Nice drive by Sydney Moon. Scoops it up and left it short. Fight for the rebound, and they're going to have a held ball here. I don't know where the Orleans player was to get the tie-up.
Yeah,
I do know Claire Mansion wasn't happy with that call, but
no, it definitely looked like a quick whistle.
It'll stay with Dubois, so Orleans can get a defensive stop here. They'll only be down 6 when they were down by as many as 15. Dotson into the lane. Baseline it comes to Dotson. Stops in the lane. Kicks it off to Mansion. 5 seconds to go. Mansion on the left wing. Had it knocked away. Picked up by Maddie Jones. Gets it off to Blanton, and she won't be able to get the shot off before the first half comes to an end. So something for the Lady Bulldogs to build on here as they score the final 9 points of this second quarter and hold Dubois scoreless for the final 5.5 minutes of this second quarter. So after they were down by as many as 15, they have been able to cut it to 6 here, which is a much more workable deficit heading into the second half. Lannis Insurance in Orleans is serious about protecting you and your interests. They represent Hastings Mutual, and Lannis is ready to satisfy your auto, home, farm, business, or other insurance needs. Hastings Mutual and Lannis, together providing Midwestern value since 1885. Call the Lannis Agency in Orleans at 865-4792. And for the varsity all the way down to the elementary grades, your friends at Scott Doherty Trucking are proud to salute each student-athlete for their hard work and dedication in continuing the legacy of excellence that is Lady Bulldog basketball. Good luck all season long from everyone at Scott Doherty Trucking in Orleans, keeping America's economy on the move. Halftime here at the Lady Jeep Gym, and after 2 quarters of play on the Busick Insurance scoreboard, it is Northeast Dubois 20, Orleans 14. We'll start our halftime activities when we come back. You're listening to Orleans Girls Basketball.
Oftentimes, first impressions start with your car. What does your car say about you? Hi, I'm JC Watson with Super Clean Car Wash. A dirty and messy car can give the impression that you're disorganized or just don't care. Make a sparkling impression that lasts. Stop by one of our Super Clean Car Wash locations. In Bedford, we are located behind McDonald's, or find us in Orleans on Main Street. Super Clean Car Wash. It's not clean till it's super clean.
When it comes to buying insurance, you want a company that will take the guesswork out of finding the proper coverage at premiums that are affordable. At the Busick Insurance Agency in Orleans, your auto owner's agent, they'll work with you to determine the right amount of coverage. To get the best protection for home, health, auto, life, and business, call Patton or Brett Busick or Josh Crocker or Richard Grace at the Busick Insurance Agency, your auto owner's agent on East Jefferson Street in Orleans at 865-2626. Busick Insurance, a proud supporter of Orleans Bulldog sports.
Hall Brothers Transportation in Orleans, a name that has stood for dependability for many years, is proud to continue their support of the Orleans Bulldogs and to the many events and activities of the school and the community as well. They realize the importance athletics have on our young people in building character and to adults in experiencing the thrill of high school sports. Hall Brothers Transportation has been serving the shipping needs of much of the Midwest, providing the link to keep businesses strong and our area's economy growing.
Hall Brothers Transportation, Highway 37 in Orleans, serving the area since 1979.
Orange County REMC is now offering you affordable protection for your home. Home security systems are available for members and non-members and will provide protection from fire, carbon monoxide, and theft. These systems are continuously monitored, so you'll have a peace of mind whether you're at home, work, or on vacation. You might even qualify for a discount on your homeowner's premium. Packages starting at $199 with monitoring starting at $24.95. For more information on these home services, call Orange County REMC at 812-865-2229.
This is Orleans sophomore guard Brooklyn Knight. Now back to more Lady Bulldogs basketball with Mike Hamilton on Q100.
Before we start our halftime activities from Northeast Dubois, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Orleans girls basketball.
Your home of IU and high school sports in the Valley. WFLQ, French Lick, Indiana.
Mike Hamilton along with Kelly Schmidt back at the Lady Chief Gymnasium where they host on a 20-14 lead over the Orleans Lady Bulldogs, using a 15-0 run spanning 2 quarters to open up a lead, and then Orleans able to recover, scoring the last 9 of the second quarter to get it back to a more reasonable margin. Let's take a look at the scoring thus far for Dubois. They're being led by Tyler Rossi. She has 8. She averages 11, so she's well on her way to that. 5 from Claire Mangin, including a 3-pointer in that second quarter. 4 off the bench from Madison Cave. They got 2 points from Cameron Stemley, also off the bench, and Amberly Jacob off the Pines added a free throw. Courtney Quinn, Alex Dotson, Addison Denu starting have not scored for Northeast Dubois, as Andy Chin has used 8 players thus far. For Orleans, Jared Gilbert has also used 8, and he's had 4 of those score, with Haley Powell leading the way with 6. Peyton Blanton has 5, so good to see the 2 freshmen stepping up and leading the team. Sydney Moon has a field goal for 2, and the other point belongs on a free throw by Audrey Elrod. Maddie Jones started, has not scored, and Brooklyn Knight, Jackie Gerken, and Janet Whalen have played off the bench, but that trio has not tallied either. Dubois led 12-5 after 1. Orleans outscores them 9-8. They pulled it within 6 on the Busick Insurance scoreboard here at halftime. Well, due to our late start, we weren't able to get an opportunity to have you hear from Dubois coach Andy Chin, so we'll take a quick 30-second timeout and be back and listen to what Coach Chin had to say about his Northeast Dubois team. We'll have that in a moment. This is Orleans girls basketball.
Oftentimes, first impressions start with your car. What does your car say about you? Hi, I'm JC Watson with Super Clean Car Wash. A dirty and messy car can give the impression that you're disorganized or just don't care. Make a sparkling impression that lasts. Stop by one of our Super Clean Car Wash locations. In Bedford, we are located behind McDonald's, or find us in Orleans on Main Street. Super Clean Car Wash. It's not clean till it's super clean.
Now by the head coach of the Northeast Dubois Lady Chiefs, Andy Chin. And Coach, good to catch up with you again. 4 games under the belt here as we complete, I think, the 3rd official week of the season, I guess. But just talk a little bit about how the girls have been playing to this point.
Yeah, Mike, always good to see you. Appreciate you coming. You know, we've we're going through some growing pains right now. We've the first 4-quarter game I thought we really pieced together was the other night at South Knox, and, a bounce or 2 goes our way. We win that game in overtime. But, it's been tough. We played some good opponents, and but that's how it is. It's, as you know, that schedule's bang, 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 so, we have another opportunity tonight.
I was going to say, I don't think too many coaches would be envious of your schedule, and hopefully that's something that will benefit you as you continue to move on through the season.
That's one thing we look at. We play a lot of 3A schools, a lot of 2A schools, and not too many 1A schools. And in the past, with Coach Mott-Ice's success, and even last year, it's really helped us come tournament time. So, that's something, we like to do, challenge our kids and try to get the best out of them.
As far as the personnel, I know you have a pretty good senior-laden group, but then also some younger kids. Are you trying to find the right mix right now?
Yeah, and that's always tough to do. We have 5 seniors that they all played varsity last year, and we've got 1 junior, but then we've got some sophomores that are getting thrown into the fire, and it's been good, and they've been producing. So moving forward, people are stepping up already, and it's going to be exciting to see who wants those spots, and we're competing, so it's good.
And I guess it's no excuse as far as the kids understanding the system now. I know some of them still had to coach Mott Eyes, but switching over to you, I assume everything should be in place by now.
Yeah, I mean, it's had its challenges, but it's pretty smooth. You know, we still hang our hat on the same things that Coach Mott Eyes did. You know, our seniors were lucky enough that I got to coach them. You know, I was lucky enough as well that I had them for 2 years, and then we jumped into it last year. So, you know, we know each other. It's almost like you know everything about each other when you spend this much time together, especially, you know, through the winter like this. So, you know, it's been good, and we're still learning. And when you watch our JV games, you can really see the things that we're trying to put in.
Give us your impressions of this Orleans team you're facing tonight.
Yeah, well, you know, there's some good young kids. The Powell girl, you know, she's scoring well. And, you know, I just have a lot of respect for Jared. Jared became a girls' coach. I'm pretty sure we came in at the same time. And one of the first things we did was play a summer middle school game. And, you know, him and I trade tape and we talk. And, you know, it's always good, you know, playing against people like that. I know his dad's on his bench. My dad's on my bench. So, you know, we have a lot of similarities. And, you know, we're more focused on us tonight. You know, we're not as much on Orleans, so we can take care of what we need to take care of.
I was going to say, I've asked this of most coaches thus far. Are you almost playing against yourselves as much as you are the opponent at this particular point in the season? It
is. I mean, this is an important game for us, but, you know, when you really think about it, then it's not a conference game. You know, it's not a sectional opponent. You know, it's a great opportunity for both teams to get better. And, you know, it should be a good environment tonight, and really looking forward to the opportunity.
Any other keys that will be important for your girls to do?
Well, you know, just, you know, taking care of the ball, and we did that the other night, and having confidence and, you know, knocking down shots. We scored 60 points the other night. We had 31, the game before, and I think that's just a, you know, confidence thing, you know, just knowing that we can do it, and that's what we're trying to work on.
And that is Andy Chin, the head coach of the Northeast Dubois Lady Chiefs. We know how tough it was for him anyway when you follow a legend in Alan Mott Eyes. Kelly, you know that from being around this area, what Coach Mott Eyes was like and how well he was loved. Not that Andy is not, but it's always tough when you make that transition.
Definitely big shoes to step in.
Orleans with the ball to start the third quarter. They work it in low to Haley Powell, her little 10-footer in the paint, a little bit too strong. And that makes, I think now, Kelly, 5 straight possessions that Orleans has had a chance to cut into that 6-point deficit, and they just can't do it. They're doing the job defensively, although we'll get a foul here on the Lady Jeeps' first possession of the second half as Sydney Moon called for a reach-in foul. That'll be her first. Off the inbounds, it comes into Rashi. Out on the wing, it goes to Alex Dotson, and she just bricks one up from there. So again, another defensive stop, and at some point in time here, Kelly, Orleans is going to have to get that offense figured out a little bit here.
Yeah, they certainly are, and Dubois is going to come here with a little bit of half-court trap and see if they can't get Orleans rattled right from the get-go.
Tip pass, but it's recovered by Sydney Moon. It's the original 5 out there as they work it into Maddie Jones. Tried to go baseline to Haley Powell, and getting a hand on that was Alex Dotson, and Addie Denyu comes out of there with it. Both teams starting lineups intact here to start the third quarter. 20-14 on the Busick Insurance scoreboard. Lady Chiefs with the lead. Here is Alex Dotson. Turns all the way around. Almost got a 5-second call. Off now to Addie Denyu running the point. Drives it right. Now circles it back out. Claire Mangin, Tyler Rossi, and Claire Mangin rounding out the 5 for Andy Chin's squad. Still looking for their first win of the year as they are 0-4. Nice feed in low to Rossi, who drives it to the right and banks one off the window from 4 feet away. And Dubois finally breaks their spell. They had gone nearly a quarter without a point. And there's a steal as you hit the nail on the head there, Kelly, that half-court trap, and Orleans turned it over.
Yeah, Courtney Quinn comes with some size there on the top, gets those hands up straight and able to get some deflections, and that's something that Orleans is going to have to get a better hold of here in the second half.
Off the inbounds, a quick 3 by Denyu would not go. In fact, it was an air ball. Audrey Elrod out of there with it, and as she tried to bring it back the other way, gets bumped, and the foul call will go on Tyler Rossi. That is her second, and the first by Dubois. 22-14. We have played almost 2 minutes of the third quarter. It seemed like a pretty fast game to you?
Yeah, it definitely does. You know, there's quite a few turnovers, but yet seems like a lot of made shots and not many fouls.
Right. Only 6 free throws shot in that first half. Nice baseline drive by Audrey Elrod, but an even better recovery by Alex Dotson, who was able to get over there and swat that shot out of bounds. So we have definitely had a game of streaks.
Yeah,
here.
you know, a lot of times you see little short, quick streaks, but tonight's been long streaks.
Elrod, baseline right, dribbles it out to the wing, clears it away now to Peyton Blanton. Back to Elrod, in low to Jones, back out to Blanton. Peyton down the lane, lost the handle, and she gets tied up, and that'll go as an Orleans turnover as the arrow is pointing towards Dubois.
3 turnovers for the half right here for Orleans. Not a good start.
Well, they had that little run of 5 points after they got down 4, and then as we talked about, scoring the last 9 of the half, but they have come up dry since then. Manchin around the screen to the baseline. Can't get the shot off. Goes in low to Rashi, and as Tyler goes up, I think Audrey Elrod's just picked up her 3rd personal foul as she got her on the arm. So a little bit of foul trouble for the Lady Dogs now as the Dogs' second leading scorer now has 3 as we'll see some subs come in as Tyler Rossi cannot get the first shot to fall.
Give Orleans all the credit. They're playing good, tight man-to-man defense, but Dubois is doing a nice job of making sure they back cut. And when Orleans overplays, they've been able to find some easy shots there in the middle of the lane.
Rossi gets the second one. She's got 11, so she's at her average. And it's a 9-point lead. Full court pressure. Gherkin having trouble getting it in. Finally does now to Sydney Moon. Moon splits the defense, and she's going to be called for a double dribble. So Lady Dogs at times wilting a little bit under this tremendous Dubois pressure. As we've seen a little of everything here. As the inbounds comes in to Manchin, who misfires a shot. Does it seem to you, Kelly, on that inbound, that first inbounds pass, whoever it goes to, if they're open, they put it up immediately?
They definitely do.
Jenna Whalen back in there, drives to the baseline, kicks it out to Blanton, and low to Haley Powell. I don't think she knew where the goal was as she turned around, and Jared Gilbert saying, hey, turn around, face up to the basket, figure out where you are, and then decide what you want to do with it.
Yeah, right there, your team's leading scorer, your team's down on the scoreboard, and you want to sometimes try to do a little too much. And right there, she wanted to put some points on the board for her team and ended up shooting a little too quickly.
And then on the rebound, Sydney Moon called for the foul, her second. Down the lane goes Addison Denyu, and she's pushed before the shot. This one will go on Peyton Blanton. And all of a sudden, Orleans has been hit for 4 fouls here in the first 3 minutes and 18 seconds of this third quarter. And you definitely don't want to put Dubois to the free throw line.
No, they've been a solid free throw shooting team for many years. I'm sure this season's no different.
Comes into Denyu for a baseline 5-footer, and they keep up that trend. Whoever touches the ball first off the inbound shoots it. And that time Addie Denyu gets her first 2, and suddenly the lead back to 11. Jenna Whalen tries to change that with a 3 out of the right corner, would not go. Rebound to Claire Manchin. So all of a sudden, Orleans has gone dry offensively. They have gone now a full quarter without scoring. Here is Dotson, turns around, hands off to a new face in there, Chloe Terwiski, who gives it off to Tyler Rashi, who hits a baseline jumper, and the Lady Jeep starting to assert control again. They are on a 7-0 run here to start this third quarter, and they have opened up a 13-point lead. And a double dribble called on Jenna Whalen in the backcourt as the Lady Dogs continuing to wilt under the pressure.
Unfortunately, Mike, there that made shot by Northeast Dubois. The ball kind of rolled over by the cheerleaders, and referee had to hold up, and that allowed Dubois to set up their press even tighter than what they were going to.
Here's Terwiski out front. Chloe, a 5'6" sophomore, has not. This is her first appearance in 5 games. I think she's been hurt.
Injured. Yeah, she has. I think Dubois has got a few players facing some injuries right now.
Right. And there's a foul on Haley Powell down on the post. Off the inbounds, it comes into Rashi. Lost the handle. Picked up by Brooklyn Knight. She got knocked to the floor. No call. Here's Blanton back the other way for Orleans. Back to Knight. 3 on the way by Brooklyn is good. So a big basket there by Brooklyn Knight, who nails a 3 from the top of the corner, or top of the key, rather. And it finally gives the Lady Bulldogs their first points of this third quarter, and they have cut the lead back to 10 now at 27-17 as Jared Gilbert quickly up to call a timeout with 3:36 to go here in the third quarter on the Busick Insurance scoreboard. For the varsity all the way down to the elementary grades, your friends at Scott Doherty Trucking are proud to salute each student athlete for their hard work and dedication and continuing the legacy of excellence that is Lady Bulldogs basketball. Good luck all season long from everyone at Scott Doherty Trucking in Orleans, keeping America's economy on the move. Speaking of trucking, nice little trip for the Lady Dogs down here tonight, and they're going to make an even longer trip tomorrow night going to Bloomfield. Game that was picked up on their schedule. Oh, Orleans gets the turnover in the backcourt. They work it in low to Haley Powell, whose shot rolls off the front of the rim, but she will be on the line twice. So a switch up here as Jared Gilbert applies some full court pressure, and it pays off as they get the turnover. And now Haley Powell will try to pick up a couple here at the line. Free throw up and would not go.
Trying to spark his team here, trying to get him to be aggressive on the defensive end and put a little full court pressure and see if they can't get Dubois to turn the ball over.
Addie Denyu, the foul, her first. Haley Powell's second free throw is perfect. Orleans now 2 of 4 at the free throw line. Haley's got 7, and Orleans makes it a single-digit game. They just steal the inbounds pass again. Get it down low to Haley Powell, who lays it up and in. So Orleans has forced 2 consecutive turnovers with full court pressure. This time Dubois breaks it. Rashi into the front court. Kicks it off to Denyu. Up top to Terwisky, and she is called for a traveling violation. So it's just a matter of getting things turned around, because you just feel it again here, Kelly, that Orleans is going to go on a little bit of a run here, and they were down by 13 not too long ago. They've scored 6 straight, and they're back to within 7.
Give their defensive credit. That's the 4th turnover here of the quarter for Dubois. 3 in a row.
3:05 to go in the third, and Blanton has it out front. Sheets packed back in his zone. Works it around now to Blanton, over now to Whalen. Jenna drives all the way in and had it blocked away, but they're going to get a foul on Alex Dodson. Looked from here like the block was clean, might have gotten her with the body, and that's exactly what Otis Broughton says. So Dodson picks up her first foul, and Jenna Whalen will be at the free throw line to shoot 2, the first of which is good. By the way, that three-pointer that Brooklyn Knight hit a while ago, first bench points for Orleans. Now, you say that with a grain of salt, because we saw Jared Gilbert interchangeably use all 10 players last night. There's a missed free throw, and the rebound to Haley Powell went right over Alex Dodson, put it up and in, and all of a sudden Orleans is close to within 4, and with the full court pressure, there's a bump on Courtney Quinn, and they'll get Brooklyn Knight on this personal foul. But, boy, I'll tell you what, give these Lady Bulldogs credit. Tough place to play anyway. They could have packed things up when they were down 27-14, but here they are again. This is their second straight 9-0 run that they've had in the ball game. Again, more full court pressure. Denyu across the timeline, takes it to the right side. Pulls up, and another foul here on Orleans as they're really playing aggressive. Jared Gilbert says just keep the hands up, don't reach.
Yeah, right there, that's adrenaline, Mike. You know, those 2 kids that bust their butt to get down the floor. They've got a girl in a trap, and they get a little too aggressive with their body.
And that is the 17th foul now on Orleans. So with 2:32 to go in the third, Orleans will see Dubois shoot free throws in the bonus the rest of the way, and Denyu converts the front end of a 1-and-1 there. So that ends a 9-0 run for Orleans. And the second free throw is perfect as well. Addie Denu has 4. And Dubois able to push the lead back up to 6 now. Again, full court pressure comes in tonight, and as she turns, she's called for traveling.
Yeah, Orleans fans don't like that call. They thought she just pivoted around to face up. But
looked like Tyler Rossi may have bumped her. But the ball goes back to Dubois now. So again, Lady Dogs have been behind most of the night. They had a 5-4 lead, but then Dubois scored the last 7 or 8 of the quarter, and they have not been headed since. Denu takes it out to the middle of the floor. Guarded out there by Blanton. Starts it right. Keeps the dribble. Now runs into Blanton, and Peyton's going to get called for the blocking foul. Peyton tried to get over and set up for the charge as Addie gave a little stop-and-go move. And Peyton will pick up her second foul. And that's 18 fouls. And that could be worrisome here as this game continues on. And especially if Addie Denu has perfect form, perfect rotation, and I mean, she's not even drawing iron. Hits that one, and that one perfect as well.
Mike, your short first half might be a long second half if we shoot a lot of free throws.
And a turnover as Blanton tried to get it ahead to Sydney Owens, who's checked into the ball game, and it's taken away by Alex Dotson.
7th Orleans turnover of the half.
So give credit to Dubois after they see Orleans chop into that lead and get it close. They've kind of recovered. Dotson kicks it off to Rashi. 18-footer on the way. No good. Ball tapped around. And coming out of there with it is Cave. She'll heave up a 3 from the corner. It's in and out. Fight for the loose ball, and we'll have a held ball as Gherkin and Quinn tie one another up. And I think the arrow is pointing to Orleans.
Both teams kind of suck and win right now. These coaches are looking at their benches and trying to decide, do we want to substitute and get the momentum or keep what we have? Looks like they're going to keep what they have right now.
Gherkin gets it into Blanton. Quickly down court it goes to Powell, and she's bumped and fouled. They got the double team down on the baseline, and Haley was just trying to get rid of it. And they're going to call, I think, Tyler Rashi on the foul, and Rashi has picked up her 3rd now. So she'll have to be careful with 1:26 to go in the 3rd. Off the inbounds, Blanton, and she's called for a traveling violation. Tried a little head and shoulder move and picked up her pivot foot in the process. So again, Orleans back to that little funk. They've had flashes of excellent play, but they have just not been able to sustain it. Full court pressure, ball stolen away as Peyton Blanton picks it up and hands off to Haley Powell. Well, that's worked a couple 3 times now as Orleans getting some turnovers off full court pressure. Here's Denu back the other way. Weak side pass to Dotson, who takes it in, puts it up too hard. Rebound fought for, and we'll have a jump ball. And this time the arrow is pointing towards the Lady Jeeps with exactly a minute to go here in the 3rd quarter. That bucket by Haley Powell, her 13th point, bringing Orleans back to within 6. Quinn looks to get it in and didn't throw it to anybody in particular. Recovered by Madison Cave. Cave takes it to the foul line, jumps it back out, hawked out there by Gherkin, and they're going to get Jackie for a reach-in foul. Little frustration there.
Right. Right there, Tyler Rashi picks up her 3rd foul and has to go to the bench, and that allows Orleans to put that full court pressure on, and Dubois has less guards on the floor, so that could be something to watch for here as this second half goes on. Cave
misses the free throw, and the rebound fought for. It was picked up there by Peyton Blanton, and will get a foul on Dubois, and they'll put it on Madison Cave. That'll be her 2nd. That's the 5th on the Lady Jeeps. That was also the 19th foul. Ooh, almost a travel there. It probably was. The officials didn't call it, but it doesn't matter because Orleans loses the ball against half-court trap, and then Sydney Owens called for a foul as Dubois tried to bring it back the other way.
You know, Mike, if that travel's called, Dubois gets the ball out of bounds, but since it wasn't, it's a turnover and then a foul. And now puts Dubois at the free throw line.
And double bonus in effect now. As fouls a big problem. That one on Sydney is her first. But double bonus time the rest of the way for the Lady Chiefs. And Quinn hits both of those free throws. And she pushes the lead back up to 8 for the Lady Jeeps. And a steal, but stepping on the end line was Alex Dotson right in front of the Dubois bench. Andy Chin did not like that, nor did his dad either, I don't think. So
saw a little frustration on the Dubois sideline.
off the inbounds, it goes to Brooklyn Knight. Oh, I didn't think they were going to call the foul there. She got bumped by Alex Dotson. And then they called it again, which probably worked out because Brooklyn will shoot two. It probably would have not been a shooting foul if they called the first bump, but Dotson picks up her second. So now Orleans will be in the bonus from here on out. But for now, Brooklyn Knight gets 2 free throws, first of which is up and good. And Brooklyn has her 4th point. 37 seconds left in the third. And Knight can cut the deficit back to 6, which was what it was at halftime. Brooklyn lets it fly, left it short. Rebound to Dotson, and another foul as they're going to get Sydney Owens for going over the bat.
Orleans sideline really frustrated right now. Their kids are being aggressive, which is what you want, but you've got to also be smart when you're aggressive, and that one was just right over the back call.
So Dotson to the free throw line. These will be the 10th and 11th free throws that Dubois has shot here in this third quarter. As the first one off target. Dotson still looking for her first point. Really not any serious foul trouble yet for Orleans. That one looks long. It is, and the rebound pulled out of there by Jackie Gherkin. Andy Chin wanted to travel, didn't get it, but it won't matter because, again, against that full court pressure, a double dribble called on Peyton Blanton in the backcourt.
Yeah, it's a 10th turnover for Orleans this quarter and 6 for Northeast Dubois. Lots of fouls and lots of turnovers, but still a tight ball game here.
Should have cut my mouth shut about saying it was a fast game. All right, let's see what Dubois elects to do in the final 20 seconds here of the third quarter. Manchin has it out front. Hawks out there by Gherkin. Still on the dribble. The count is on, and there's the 5-second count. Yes, indeed. Good job by Jackie Gherkin there to stay right on Claire Manchin and force the 5-second count. So Orleans will have a shot here as they're down by 7, but a tip pass is knocked away. Picked up by Maddie Jones off to Peyton Blanton with 9. Peyton on the dribble out front with 6. I'm not sure she knows how much time. Maddie Jones does. Her 3 is no good with 2 seconds, 1 second, and that'll do it for the third quarter. Orleans getting down by as many as 13, but they'll settle for a 7-point deficit as we head to the fourth. On the Music Insurance scoreboard, Lady Chiefs lead the Lady Bulldogs 33-26. This is Orleans girls basketball.
When it comes to buying insurance, you want a company that will take the guesswork out of finding the proper coverage at premiums that are affordable. At the Busick Insurance Agency in Orleans, your auto owner's agent, they'll work with you to determine the right amount of coverage. To get the best protection for home, health, auto, life, and business, call Patton or Brett Busick or Josh Crocker or Richard Grace at the Busick Insurance Agency, your auto owner's agent on East Jefferson Street in Orleans at 865-2626. Busick Insurance, a proud supporter of Orleans Bulldog sports.
Hall Brothers Transportation in Orleans, a name that has stood for dependability for many years, is proud to continue their support of the Orleans Bulldogs and to the many events and activities of the school and the community as well. They realize the importance athletics have on our young people in building character and to adults in experiencing the thrill of high school sports. Hall Brothers Transportation has been serving the shipping needs of much of the Midwest, providing the link to keep businesses strong and our area's economy growing.
Hall Brothers Transportation, Highway 37 in Orleans, serving the area since 1979.
This is Orleans sophomore guard Jacqueline Gherkin, here every dribble, pass, and shot of Lady Bulldogs basketball on the sports voice of the Valley, Q100.
With Kelly Schmidt and our statistician McKenna Purley, Mike Hamilton at Northeast Dubois High School, we start the fourth quarter. Lady Dogs have the basketball, but they're down by 7 and make it 4 as the freshman Peyton Blanton steps up and knocks down a huge three, her second of the ball game, and it's 33-29. Now Dubois, their first look in the fourth quarter as Courtney Quinn works it around now to Cameron Stemley. Claire Manchin in there, so is Madison Cave and Addie Denyu. So a lot of the bench in there for Andy Chin to a cutting Addie Denyu, whose shot clanks off the back of the iron. Orleans boards it, and almost a minute into the fourth quarter, they could be as close as they have been since way back in the first quarter. Here's Sydney Moon back in there on the left wing, up top now to Blanton. Beats it around right side to Elrod. Audrey to the baseline. Cut off there, feeds it in low, and it's knocked away. They tried to force that pass into Haley Powell, but two Dubois defenders in there to knock it away.
That's just to reverse that basketball and see if they can't get something on the other side with foul cutting.
Rashi back in there. She's got 3 fouls. Cave is out. Blanton gets it into Powell. Gets hit, throws up a wild shot, and it's well short. And again, Jared Gilbert said a lot of contact there. Where's the foul? But instead, Dubois has the basketball. Rashi turns around, jumps at baseline to Manchin. 5-footer rolls around the rim, no good. Put back attempt by Stemley would not go, and Orleans comes out of there with it. So they dodge a big bullet there. Again, a chance to get a little bit closer. They're within 4. They can make this a one-possession game with a basket here. Elrod deep on the right wing against the Dubois zone. Kicks it up top to Blanton. Works it down to the right side to Powell. Haley turns around, jumps it back out to Blanton. Fakes the three, and she traveled with a basketball again. Well, they shuffle those feet before they put it on the floor, and boy, officials will get you every time on that. So again, we talked about empty possessions here, Kelly. I think there was a stretch when Orleans was down 20-14 in the first half that they had something like 5 straight possessions to cut into that lead, and they couldn't cash in. Getting the job done defensively, but just not able to find a way to put the ball in the hole.
Orleans right now has got to dig in on the defensive end. Another foul.
Yep, a little bit too much reaching here as Maddie Jones reaching in and fouling. Cameron Stemley, Maddie picks up her second. First time at the line tonight for Cameron Stemley. The first one is no good. Landis Insurance in Orleans is serious about protecting you and your interests. They represent Hastings Mutual, and Landis is ready to satisfy your auto, home, farm, business, or other insurance needs. Hastings Mutual and Landis together provided Midwestern value since 1885. Call the Landis Agency in Orleans at 865-4792. Now they get Stemley to miss twice at the free throw line, but they can't come up with a defensive rebound. Instead, Rashi all the way to the goal, overshot it, rebound tipped underneath to Addie Denyu, puts it up and in. Boy, a bad break there as Orleans' inability to box out, and now the ball stolen away in the backcourt by Addie Denyu, puts it up good, and just like that, the lead has shot up to 8 again after Orleans was able to cut it to 4, and Jared Gilbert needs a timeout. 5:21 left on the Busick Insurance scoreboard. Lady Chiefs lead Orleans 37-29. Back with more Lady Bulldog basketball in just a moment.
Orange County REMC is now offering you affordable protection for your home. Home security systems are available for members and non-members and will provide protection from fire, carbon monoxide, and theft. These systems are continuously monitored, so you'll have a peace of mind whether you're at home, work, or on vacation. You might even qualify for a discount on your homeowner's premium. Packages starting at $199 with monitoring starting at $24.95. For more information on these home services, call Orange County REMC at 812-865-2229.
From the varsity all the way down to the elementary grades, your friends at Sky Doherty Trucking are proud of Saluti student-athletes for their hard work and dedication and continuing the legacy of excellence that is Lady Bulldogs basketball. Good luck all season long from everyone. Scott Doherty Trucking in Orleans, keeping America's economy on the move. After the timeout, full court pressure by Dubois. Lady Dogs break it. Gherkin to the left side. Kicks it back out now to Blanton. Works it around on the near side to Elrod. Down to the corner to Brooklyn Knight. Quick three on the way. Good! big three-point bucket by Brooklyn Knight. That's her second of the ball game. She's got 7. And Orleans has cut it to 5 at 37-32. Quickly into the front court. Dubois breaks the pressure, and they get a layup from Cameron Stimley.
Nice pass there by Manjan. Wide open Stimley under the basket.
And now a traveling violation in the backcourt on Brooklyn Knight as the Lady Bulldogs get in a bit too much of a hurry here.
Still 4:52 on the clock. Orleans got to find a way to dig in and get a stop defensively.
Right.
You know, when you get stopped, you don't allow Dubois to set up their full court press, and you've got better opportunity to get an offensive bucket.
But there's also not too many teams as good as Dubois in protecting leads, and there's 2 more as Tyler Rossi on the right side of the goal able to heave one up from 6 feet and get it to go. She's got 15. As there's a kickball in the backcourt as the lead suddenly has grown to 9. We kept saying during the timeout, Kelly, it's like Orleans gets to the top of the mountain only to slide back down again, but they are fighting. That's the important thing. So you give them credit for hanging tough here in a hostile environment.
Definitely so. You know, you're on the road early in the season against a good Northeast Dubois team. You got to find a way to keep your composure.
Gherkin gets it out to Brooklyn Knight, kicks it down to the corner to Elrod. In low to Powell, out to Blanton. Payton takes it to the right side, pulls it back out, cross-courts the pass, off now to Knight. Brooklyn down the lane, throws up a wild shot, got it to go. It just died on the flange there and dropped through. Nice game by Brooklyn Knight. She's got 9 now. 41-34, Orleans within 7 with 3:45 to go. It's time starting to become a factor, and I think Andy Chin telling his team out there to slow it down, work the offense, use the clock as much as you can. Good recovery by Brooklyn Knight. They tried to go on that weak side play.
Bailed out there. She was racing behind the defender, but got the deflection out of bounds. Dubois ball out of bounds here with 3:32 to go.
And timeout called here by Andy Chin. It was getting close to the 5-second count, so he'll take timeout, and they will talk it over. 3:32 left in this one on the Music Insurance scoreboard. Dubois on top of Orleans, 41-34. We'll have more Lady Bulldogs basketball when we return.
Oftentimes, first impressions start with your car. What does your car say about you? Hi, I'm JC Watson with Super Clean Car Wash. A dirty and messy car can give the impression that you're disorganized or just don't care. Make a sparkling impression that lasts. Stop by one of our Super Clean Car Wash locations. In Bedford, we are located behind McDonald's, or find us in Orleans on Main Street. Super Clean Car Wash. It's not clean till it's super clean.
Landis Insurance in Orleans is serious about protecting you and your interests. They represent Hastings Mutual, and Landis is ready to satisfy your auto, home, farm, business, or other insurance needs. Hastings Mutual and Landis, together providing Midwestern values since 1885. Call the Landis Agency in Orleans at 865-4792. Out of the timeout, Orleans on defense, as Dubois got a shot in the lane that would not go, but an offensive rebound by Alex Dotson. Seems like Orleans has kind of held their own rebounding-wise, but the last couple possessions, they've been giving the Lady Chiefs here, Kelly, some second opportunities.
Yeah, not too bad on the defensive end, but here giving up some offensive rebounds that they can't have at this point in the game.
Down the lane, Rashi leans in, puts up the shot, no good, and Brooklyn Knight all over her, gets nailed on the personal foul. That'll be her third.
Dubois is sensing that Orleans is up in the pressure, and when they do that, they're going to backdoor cut every time.
Free throw by Rashi is good, and Tyler has her 16th point of the ball game. Dubois now 11 of 18 at the line. Orleans 4 out of 8. Second free throw drops in. So Rashi now with 17 points, back to a 9-point Dubois lead. And again, full court pressure bothering the Lady Bulldogs as Peyton Blanton gets tied up. Arrow does stay with Orleans. Not much margin for error now, and almost a steal here again as Orleans kind of standing around a little bit in the backcourt. They're not really moving towards the ball
They're going to
here.
have to cut much harder and try to get the ball to the middle when they can.
They do get it into Powell off to Blanton. Payton down the lane, had it knocked away, and Alex Shotton comes out of there with it. Boy, too many turnovers tonight for the Lady Bulldogs, and just at times getting a little careless.
Yeah, that's 14 for the half, Mike.
Of course, I think a lot of those, as the season wears on, will kind of iron themselves out.
Definitely so.
But for now, they're paying the price a little bit. There's a foul on Haley Powell as Courtney Quinn drove to the basket there. Haley will pick up her third personal. Been another solid game for Haley Powell, 13 points.
Yeah, you know, it's been a quiet 13. She's done a lot of nice things, a couple nice offensive rebounds, and very solid player, especially for a freshman.
Lady Jeeps holding this away at the free throw line. We'll see this Dubois team here 2 weeks from tonight, as Springs Valley will host them.
So
Second free throw good.
Coach Niehaus here tonight scouting.
Right. The inbounds pass stolen away by Claire Manchin, and a foul almost immediately here. And this one will go on Jenna Whalen, as we know the areas, I think, that Coach Gilbert will be emphasizing in practice, but again, he's in a situation where he doesn't have a whole lot of practice time. They're right back at it again tomorrow night at Bloomfield, and then turn around and play Christian Academy on Monday night.
You know, there's a lot of things that as a coach you've got to emphasize with a voice, and a lot of times you don't get that practice time during girls' season, but he'll definitely be letting them know that turnovers and missed opportunities on the offensive end hurt him tonight.
Right. And there's a foul on Dubois as Jenna Whalen drove it to the baseline. The lead is at 11 there. Manchin missed both foul shots. Denu with her second personal foul. So Jenna Whalen, that's the 17th foul, will shoot a 1 in bonus, first of which is up and good. This is the 5th two-shot foul that Orleans has had. And in each of the first 4, they've hit exactly 1 out of 2. Let's see if Jenna can change that. Nope. But the rebound run down by Gherkin, off now to Whalen. To Moon, 2:18 to go, down to the corner to Gherkin. 3 on the way by Jackie is good.
She's pretty excited for herself there, Mike.
Well, here's why, Kelly. That is her first field goal of the season.
All right.
It has been a bit of a struggle for this young lady. We saw her, I think it was, last year or a couple of years ago. No, it was 2 years ago. Against your team, I think she hit 6 3-pointers in that ball game. So we know she is definitely capable of hitting some big shots here, and that one big there because it cuts the deficit to 8, make that 7 at 45 to 38. So there's a case where an offensive rebound pays off for Orleans.
Yeah, it definitely does, and you know, right there, she's got to keep her confidence. Like you said, struggling shooting the basketball right now, but tonight she's done a lot of good things defensively. Pulled down 6 rebounds for her team as well. So you can be a contributor, and even if you're not putting points on the board, she'll find a way to get that turned around as the season goes, I have no doubt.
So hopefully that kind of is the push that she needs to finally get things turned around. It's still early in the season, so nobody's panicking or anything, but certainly.
Mike, that's a big basket right there. She pulls her team within 7 with 2:13 to go. Full court pressure applied here by Orleans.
And they have created some turnovers with that press, but they don't here as Denu works it into the front court. Coming up on 2 minutes to go. Dubois with a 7-point lead, 45 to 38 on the Busick Insurance scoreboard. And now it looks like Lady Jeeps might be trying to play a little keep away here.
Definitely are. Coach Jen's here saying spread the floor.
They'll work
across the top and flashing that middle cut when they can.
Right, working that weave. As Denu gets it off now to Manchin, and Claire gets fouled by Haley Powell, who tried to reach in and strip the ball away.
Orleans chasing right here, but put Dubois to the line, clock stopped, and hopefully they can get Dubois to miss a couple free throw opportunities and get the ball back on the offensive end.
I'll tell you, Bloomfield won't be an easy opponent tomorrow night. Ron Nepp has his team out to a 3-1 start.
I saw him here tonight as well.
Can't help. Brings back a lot of fond memories from 2 years ago during Valley's undefeated season. I mean, that was a game that went virtually, literally down to the final possession.
Definitely did. I think I had a few nightmares for that week.
You kept having to check your pulse there, I'm sure.
I think so.
And both free throws missed by Manchin. Claris struggled at the line. That foul on Haley Powell was her fourth. So it's still a 7-point game. Orleans still has a shot here. They can't waste a whole lot of time getting a shot off.
Dubois has switched back to that 3-2 flattened out zone.
Gherkin works it around now to Whalen. They've got their three-point shooters out there, trying to work it along the perimeter. Brooklyn Knight goes back to Blanton. Peyton drives, and her shot blocked away and out of bounds by Alex Dodson.
They're giving that corner shot open, but Orleans chooses to drive there and drives right into a 6-foot Dodson. Blocked out of bounds, but they retain possession.
Haley Powell will replace Sydney Owens. 1:15 to go. Whalen tip pass, but picked up by Gherkin. Jackie down to the corner tonight. Brooklyn's three is an air ball. And the rebound pulled out of there by Claire Manchin. More full court pressure. Dubois breaks it. Dodson into the front court. Gets it off to Manchin, who takes it in. Missed the shot. And the rebound battle for, and we'll have a held ball. And the arrow is pointing Dubois' way. Andy Chin kind of giving that look like, hey, we really didn't need to put up that shot.
Yeah, you know, Claire's thinking, well, I'm wide open, Coach. But at that point in time, it's under a minute to go. You got a 7-point lead. You got to find a way to pull that out.
Right.
He wants his senior to make a better decision with the ball.
Oh, nice steal there by Sydney Moon. To Powell, gets it ahead now to Audrey Elrod, who takes it in, scores! Audrey Elrod with her first basket. And Orleans to within 5. Don't count them out yet. 40 seconds to go, and there's a foul in the backcourt on Haley Powell. And, boy, she was the last one that could foul, and that is going to disqualify her from the game. Kind of a touch foul there, but...
They're saying she used the lower half of her body to make a little extra contact there. And
of course, at the same time, you do need to probably foul here to get the ball back. You want to foul Claire Manchin. She's 0 for 4 at the line. Courtney Quinn, who's stepping up there now, is 4 for 4. Addison Denu is 4 for 4, and Tyler Rossi's 5 out of 6. And this free throw rims out.
Hey, jinxed her, Mike.
That's right. So the best she can do is push the Dubois lead up to 6, which is still within 2 possessions with 40 seconds left. That one is good. So Quinn has her 5th point of the contest. 46-40. Ball comes into Brooklyn Knight. Double team. Clears it away to Gherkin. Ahead now to Blanton. Quickly into the front court. Peyton pulls up for a 3. It's no good. The rebound pulled out of there by Claire Manchin. And now it's going to be tough for Orleans here with 25 seconds to go. Jared Gilbert saying, you got to foul, get somebody. And finally, Sydney Owens comes out and fouls Addie Denu with 21 seconds left.
Yeah, a lot of time ran off that clock there. Orleans wasn't quite quick enough to get to the basketball.
So Addie Denu at the free throw line gets that one to drop. So she is a perfect 5 out of 5. Now that makes it basically a 3-possession game, and going to be really tough for the Lady Dogs now. That one is good as well. 48-40 Dubois.
Dubois is dropping back into that zone.
Jenna Whalen will launch a 3, no good. Sydney Owens, the weak side rebound, off to Brooklyn Knight, who lost the handle. 10 seconds to go, and we'll have a held ball, and I think it'll stay with Orleans, but... this one will leave the Lady Bulldogs fighting, but it looks like they're going to come up short here tonight. As they just had too many dry spells. Still look good at times, but just not enough. Here's Jenna Whalen, launches a shot that comes up short. 3 seconds to go, grabbed by Claire Manchin. And the final seconds will run out of this one And Dubois will finally taste victory for the first time in 2017-18 after losing their first four. And Orleans looking to build on their big win over Shoals on Tuesday night. Just did not have quite enough firepower as they lose on the road here against the Lady Jeeps. A lot of streaks in this one, but Dubois salting this one away at the free throw line as Orleans got into foul trouble there in the second half, and the Lady Jeeps hitting enough free throws to keep Orleans at bay. We'll be back to recap all of tonight's action in a moment. The final score here this evening from Northeast Dubois on the Busick Insurance scoreboard. The Northeast Dubois Lady Jeeps 48, the Orleans Lady Bulldogs 40. You're listening to Orleans Girls Basketball.
When it comes to buying insurance, you want a company that will take the guesswork out of finding the proper coverage at premiums that are affordable. At the Busick Insurance Agency in Orleans, your auto owner's agent, they'll work with you to determine the right amount of coverage. To get the best protection for home, health, auto, life, and business, call Patton or Brett Busick or Josh Crocker or Richard Grace at the Busick Insurance Agency, your auto owner's agent on East Jefferson Street in Orleans at 865-2626. Busick Insurance, a proud supporter of Orleans Bulldog sports.
Hall Brothers Transportation in Orleans, a name that has stood for dependability for many years, is proud to continue their support of the Orleans Bulldogs and to the many events and activities of the school and the community as well. They realize the importance athletics have on our young people in building character and to adults in experiencing the thrill of high school sports. Hall Brothers Transportation has been serving the shipping needs of much of the Midwest, providing the link to keep businesses strong and our area's economy growing.
Hall Brothers Transportation, Highway 37 in Orleans, serving the area since 1979.
Orange County REMC is now offering you affordable protection for your home. Home security systems are available for members and non-members and will provide protection from fire, carbon monoxide, and theft. These systems are continuously monitored, so you'll have a peace of mind whether you're at home, work, or on vacation. You might even qualify for a discount on your homeowner's premium. Packages starting at $199 with monitoring starting at $24.95. For more information on these home services, call Orange County REMC at 812-865-2229.
Oftentimes, first impressions start with your car. What does your car say about you? Hi, I'm JC Watson with Super Clean Car Wash. A dirty and messy car can give the impression that you're disorganized or just don't care. Make a sparkling impression that lasts. Stop by one of our Super Clean Car Wash locations. In Bedford, we are located behind McDonald's, or find us in Orleans on Main Street. Super Clean Car Wash. It's not clean till it's super clean.
You're listening to Orleans Girls Basketball.
Your home of IU and high school sports in the Valley. WFLQ, French Lick, Indiana.
This is Orleans sophomore guard Jacqueline Gherkin. Hear every dribble, pass, and shot of Lady Bulldogs basketball on the sports voice of the Valley, Q100.
Mike Hamilton along with Kelly Schmidt back at the Lady Jeep Gymnasium, where the host Jeeps able to prevail over Orleans tonight, 48-40, and this has to kind of be a game, Kelly, that Jared Gilbert may be scratching his head. His team played at times well enough and right with this Dubois team. In fact, they were down by 7 at the end of the first quarter, so over the final 3 quarters, they only lose by 1. They get outshot 29-10 at the free throw line as well, and I'm sure committed more turnovers than did the Lady Jeeps, yet almost right down to the final minute or so, they still had a chance in this one.
Yeah, you know, I thought they played a fabulous job there for much of the ball game. They did some really good things on the offensive end. Were able to get the ball inside the foul. She had a nice game for them here tonight, but give Dubois a lot of credit. They come out with that full court pressure, and like you said, 22 turnovers on the night for Orleans is what I had them for, and only 15 for Dubois, and that's 7 possessions that they don't get a shot that Dubois does.
Let's take a look at the scoring in the contest for Northeast Dubois. They're now 1-4 on the year, 1-3 here at home. As we said, they end their 4-game losing streak, and they have now beaten Orleans 3 straight times. And again, prior to 2000-2001, unless these teams played during that time, Orleans still has never won in girls basketball in this gym. 2 double-figure scores tonight. Tyler Rossi leading the team in scoring. She does here tonight as she goes for a game-high 17. Addison Denyu really picked things up. All 12 of her points coming, Kelly, in that second half.
Yeah, you know, you got to give Dubois a lot of credit. They've got a lot of seniors out on the floor with experience, and they know when they need to take charge. And Addison Denyu, fine night for her, shooting-wise. I know she's had some injuries as well and was uncertain if she'd even play tonight. So coming out, fighting through some of that pain, and able to put up some nice figures.
5 each from 2 starters, Courtney Quinn and Claire Mangin. Off the bench, 4 each from Madison Cave and Cameron Stemley. And the other point coming on a free throw by Amberly Jacob. Alex Dotson started, did not score, and Chloe Terwisky playing her first game of the season after being injured through the first 4. Played probably 4 or 5 minutes, but did not tally. So 17 out of Tyler Rashi and 10 from Addie Denyu leading Dubois. For the Lady Bulldogs tonight, Jared Gilbert uses 8 players, and all but one of them score here tonight with 1 in double figures. Haley Powell continuing her solid play. She finishes with a team-high 13 points, 6 field goals, and 1 out of 2 at the free throw line. Brooklyn Knight had been starting. Tonight she comes off the bench and does a terrific job. All 9 of her points coming there in the second half. And again, Kelly, we talked a little bit about this too. So many interchangeable parts on this Orleans team. I don't think you can really say there are 5 starters or 5 bench players. They can all start, they can all come off the bench, and Coach Gilbert doesn't lose anything.
Yeah, you know, I think he's got a well-rounded club there where he's able to use quite a few players, like you said. And as a coach, that's promising. You can maybe sometimes look for that hot hand on certain nights, and those are the kids that you're going to play the most minutes. And you've got to have kids that understand those roles and how those things come. Sometimes, you know, kids at this age don't quite understand those things, but, you know, Coach Gilbert would do a great job of making sure these kids come out and practice hard. You saw their effort here tonight was outstanding. I felt like they really increased their intensity as the game went on, and that allowed them to stay as close to what they were.
Peyton Blanton, the freshman, making her first ever start. Another outstanding job running the point. She had 8 points, including 2 3-pointers. They got 3 out of Audrey Elrod on a basket and a free throw. Jackie Gherkin, finally her first field goal to go, and boy, that's got to be a confidence boost for her, and hopefully she'll be able to pick up from here. And that certainly kept Orleans in the hunt there down the stretch as well. Sydney Moon had a first quarter field goal for 2, and Jenna Whalen was 2 out of 4 at the free throw line. Maddie Jones was the only player that played tonight for the Lady Bulldogs that did not score. But again, Haley Powell, 13, 9 from Brooklyn Knight off the bench, and 8 from Peyton Blanton leading the way. But the Lady Bulldogs dropped to 1-3 now on the year, with this being their first game away from home. Dubois led 12-5 after 1, 20-14 at halftime, 33-26 after 3, and they hold on and defeat the Lady Bulldogs tonight by a final count of 48-40 on the Busick Insurance scoreboard. We'll step aside for a quick break and come back and talk with Orleans coach Jared Gilbert when we return. This is Orleans girls basketball.
Hey, she's a bad mama.
When it comes to buying insurance, you want a company that will take the guesswork out of finding the proper coverage at premiums that are affordable. At the Busick Insurance Agency in Orleans, your auto owner's agent, they'll work with you to determine the right amount of coverage. To get the best protection for home, health, auto, life, and business, call Patton or Brett Busick or Josh Crocker or Richard Grace at the Busick Insurance Agency, your auto owner's agent on East Jefferson Street in Orleans at 865-2626. Busick Insurance, a proud supporter of Orleans Bulldog sports.
This is Orleans girls coach Jared Gilbert, thanking you, our fans, for your continued support of Lady Bulldog basketball all season long.
Back once again at Northeast Dubois, where the Lady Bulldogs fall tonight to Dubois by a final count of 48-40 to get his reaction, we bring in head coach Jared Gilbert. And, Coach, I thought the kids fought hard all night long. Things didn't always go their way, but I'll tell you what, I thought this team was in it right down to the last minute or so of this one.
Yeah, I told you, today earlier that we wanted to be in the game and have a chance in the fourth quarter, and we definitely had that. We had that opportunity, and they made free throws like good teams need to do. They stepped up and made them, and we fouled them a little too much. We got a little too aggressive, I thought, there in the third. When a couple of times when we didn't really need to foul, we put them at the line when we kind of had them where I thought we wanted them, and we're in good position there. So, but it was a great learning experience, I thought, on the road for the first time, and our girls competed the whole time, and I told them I thought we took a huge step. Defensively, I was really pleased with how we played tonight. I thought that was the best we've played all year. I mean, we gave up too many points, obviously, but a lot of those were at the foul line. So I definitely like what I saw tonight, and I think we can build off of it.
I want to go over this game was full of streaks tonight. Dubois had a 15-0 run that bridged the first and second quarters. They got a 15-point lead at 20-5. Your kids could have packed it in. No. Instead, they score the last 9, hold Dubois scoreless for about the last 5.5 minutes of that second quarter. Then you kind of go cold to start the third quarter. Then you hit another 9-point run, get it to within 4, but then can't really sustain it, and then down by 7. And then finally in the fourth quarter, it kind of seesawed a little more back and forth. But that streakiness, is that kind of the nature of high school basketball right now?
Yeah, no, I think so. I mean, you try to limit the other teams' runs. Teams, especially good teams, are going to make runs on you, and you just try to limit those the best you can. And a lot of times the ones that do are the teams that are successful and the teams that win the game. So, they had too many, obviously, there. We thought we could play in zone there in the first half, starting out. We thought maybe force them to shoot outside, something they didn't really, the games I've seen, not done real well. And, so I thought it worked early on, and then the 23 came in and knocked some shots down and did a nice job. And they made some shots, and we had to adjust. And I thought our girls did a nice job of adjusting. And, we'd rather play man-to-man, I think, most of the time. And, but we feel like we can kind of switch it up a little bit and hopefully, mix it up throughout the season. But we definitely, I thought, took a big step in our man-to-man time.
Coach, I thought your kids did a nice job on the defensive end, like you said. How do you feel they did on the offensive end when Dubois did the same thing? They changed up their defenses. They played some man-to-man. They played some flat and 3-2. They came at you with some traps in the half court, full court.
Right.
How do you think your kids handled that?
Considering we're starting 2 freshmen tonight, and I thought they'd handled it pretty well. Obviously, it wasn't perfect. We made way too many turnovers against their press. I thought their press, probably that and us fouling them too much, was probably the difference in the game. We had some really tough turnovers at crucial times when I thought we could get it down and maybe get a last shot and cut it, maybe to 4 there. And so we just had some crucial things that we didn't do perfect, but it's early and we're young and we're learning, and I try to tell the girls, don't have your head down. We're not going to be perfect right now. I don't expect you to, and we won't be all year. But as long as we learn from it and get better, then we'll take this loss and learn from it and hopefully be better for it down the road.
Sure. You talk about Dubois right now starting 5 seniors, and like you said, you're coming out and starting two freshman guards. So hats off to your club. I thought they fought hard all night and did a good job mixing things up on Dubois.
Well, thank you.
Coach, hopefully it's significant. It kind of was in the course of the game because it kept you in it, but when Jackie Gherkin knocked down that 3, or first field goal of the year, and hopefully that's going to be the start of much better things to come. Not that she is not a good player. She is a good player. She's probably just pressing a little bit, and hopefully that'll help her to relax and just come out, play her game, and we'll see her take off from here.
Oh yeah, she was definitely all smiles after making that. It was like a weight off her shoulders, I think. She has been pressing a little bit, but she's been in the gym shooting, trying to work it out, and that's all you can ask them to do is keep putting in time and shoot your way out of it. You're never going to shoot your way out of it if you don't shoot the ball. So I thought she did that. With that hopefully it'll get her going a little bit. But she does so many other things for us too. She rebounds the ball well and handles the ball for us. So she's definitely not just a scorer. She does some other things well for us and played defense and getting better at that. So, we need her out on the floor, whether she's scoring or not. And I thought she played much better tonight overall, and she'll continue to get better and work away shooting the basketball.
All right, no rest for the worry.
No.
It's not often that high school teams, boys a lot of times will play Friday, Saturday. Girls usually don't play back-to-back as much unless it's a tournament. But I know Pam Smith, your athletic director, trying to get you guys back up to the maximum number of games, throwing this Bloomfield game in here. And sometimes there are only certain times of the year or certain parts of the calendar that you can fit them in. So you've got to just go with the flow and come back and be ready to go to make another long trip tomorrow night.
Yeah, we will, and I know the kids probably like it because they get to play. So as coaches, I know we'd like to have maybe a little more practice time to prepare, but we'll go and play, and we scouted them, and we know kind of what to expect. They got a really nice player, and we'll have to do a good job on her to have a chance there. But it's a different team that we haven't played in the past, so we're excited about going there and playing, and we'll go and give it our best shot. And if we have the effort like we did tonight, I like our chances to go down there and have a chance to win.
Got to ask, with both you and Andy having your dads on the bench, did you trash them when you were talking before the game at all? Or
not too much. No, I think we both know better than that. So it's hard to find good help, so we didn't want to run them away too much.
All right. Good to see the JV team pick up a nice win. I think they're 3-1 now.
3-1 now. They're doing a nice job too. And I know it's tough for them because we're playing some of the people they've started with. We've kind of quartered and stuff. But they've continued to play well, and they keep getting better. So we're excited about our kids, and hopefully they keep having some success.
All right. Coach, thanks for stopping by. Have a safe trip back to Orleans, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow night.
All right. Thank you.
Nice job, Coach.
That is Jared Gilbert, the head coach of the Orleans Lady Bulldogs, joining us after the contest here tonight as the Lady Jeeps able to prevail by 8 tonight over Orleans, 48-40 on the Busick Insurance scoreboard. Coach, you want to go over the stats? You want me to?
I'll let you do the honors.
All righty. For Dubois tonight, 43% shooting, 15 out of 35. They only attempted 6 3-pointers tonight, did hit one of those for 16%. So overall 15 out of 35. At the free throw line, 17 out of 29. So not a great number, Kelly, 59%, but just sheer volume of those because they took almost 3 times as many foul shots.
Yeah, Orleans definitely increased their defensive pressure there, but caused themselves to foul a little bit too much, and Dubois gets to the free throw line. Coach Chen's going to want those percentages to be a little bit higher, and as the season goes, I'm sure they will, but, it's one of those things where I think it was definitely a difference maker in the ball game and the score at the end.
All right. 24 rebounds tonight for the Lady Jeeps as they out-rebound Orleans 24-19 for the offensive glass for Dubois. Or
6, I believe.
6,
7
okay.
For the offensive end for Dubois and 6 for Orleans.
Okay. We'll make the right notation. And turnovers tonight?
I had Orleans for 22. Unfortunately, 15 of those coming in the second half.
And 15 for Dubois.
15 for Dubois, yeah.
Okay. Lady Bulldogs, 36% tonight overall, 15 out of 42. Not bad from 3-point range, 5 out of 15. I think Coach Gilbert will take that. And they were 5 out of 10, 50%. They went to the line and shot a pair of free throws 5 times tonight, and each time hit 1 out of the 2. Might have been the first, might have been the second, but only 1 out of 2. So I know, especially after that 8 of 22 against Crothersville, they did a little better, 11 of 17 Tuesday night against Shoals, so back down to 50%. But I'm sure he'd like to see his team get to the line maybe more towards the 15 to 20 mark rather than around the 10 free throw mark.
Yeah, they'll find out that, giving up free throws and not hitting your free throws play havoc for you, but it's early in the season. Both these teams are going to look to get in the gym a lot over Christmas break and some over Thanksgiving break, although we fill our bellies a lot. But they'll get in, get some extra shots put up, and hopefully those percentages will increase as the season goes.
Just 2 lead changes in this one. That was when Orleans took the lead at 5-4, or 5-4 on a basket by Sydney Moon, and then it was retaken back on a basket by Tyler Rossi at 6-5. That would start a 15-0 run for the Lady Chiefs as they opened up a 15-point lead early in the second quarter. That was their biggest. Orleans then scored the last 9, holding Dubois scoreless for almost 5.5 minutes of that second quarter to pull to within 6 at halftime. Dubois ran it back out to 13 with the first 7 of the third quarter, only to see Orleans bounce back and score 9 straight. But then the Lady Chiefs scored 6 out of the last 9 points of the third quarter, going into the fourth up by 7, and Orleans would cut it to within 4 on that 3-point basket by Peyton Blanton. But then Dubois got 2 quick baskets right back, pushed the lead up to 8, and Orleans could get no closer than 7 the rest of the way. So again, the final 48-40 as Dubois defeats Orleans. We'll take our final break and wrap things up when we come back to Northeast Dubois High School in a moment. This is Orleans girls basketball.
Oftentimes, first impressions start with your car. What does your car say about you? Hi, I'm JC Watson with Super Clean Car Wash. A dirty and messy car can give the impression that you're disorganized or just don't care. Make a sparkling impression that lasts. Stop by one of our Super Clean Car Wash locations. In Bedford, we are located behind McDonald's, or find us in Orleans on Main Street. Super Clean Car Wash. It's not clean till it's super clean.
This is Orleans senior forward Jenna Whalen, and you're listening to Lady Bulldogs basketball on Q100.
Call the Landis Agency in Orleans at 865-4792. Back for the final time at Northeast Dubois High School as the Lady Bulldogs fall tonight to the Lady Chiefs by a final count of 48-40. And I think any coach would prefer, Kelly, a game like this, playing good competition. They had a lot of fun, certainly on Tuesday night, beating up on Shoals a little bit. But these are the kind of games that you can learn from, get better from, and certainly they'll be able to put that to the test when they head up to Bloomfield and take on a good Lady Cardinal team.
Yeah, you know, Bloomfield is a well-rounded team, a respectful team year in and year out, and they'll have no different here this season for Coach Knapp. But I thought Orleans had a lot of hustle, a lot of fight in them tonight, and you know, we'll see what they're made of as they go back-to-back nights, like you said, something that girls don't normally get to do, but an opportunity that presented itself, and Orleans is going to see if they can go on the road and pull out a nice road victory there in Bloomfield tomorrow.
By the way, I know the Harlem Wizards were here recently. Why didn't you tell me you were going to suit up on that? I'd like to see you relive some of your glory days. And
you know, Mike, it was a pretty ugly night for Coach Schmidt, but it was a lot of fun. It was something that brought in a lot of money for the Dubois band, and they kindly asked me to put on a jersey. I'm not sure why, but I definitely did. Had a lot of fun that night, and good to get back here on this floor, a floor that I played many games on in the past, and definitely a place that I love.
You kind of, from what I heard, split your allegiance with a Jeep jersey on the outside, but the old black and white underneath.
Yeah,
for
you know,
Spring Valley.
It definitely was something I knew I was going to have to put a Jeep shirt on at some point, but wanted to make sure that I still stayed true to my home in Springs Valley. So supported both that evening and had a lot of fun. It was a nice night for the Dubois band to put together a nice fundraiser, and had a lot of community backing that night as well.
Alrighty. Let you get out of here and get back to your incredible daughter, and we'll see you here in a couple days on Saturday afternoon when Valley takes on Rock Creek.
Yeah, we look forward to that, Mike. I appreciate you having me, and hopefully everybody has safe travels home tonight.
Alrighty. Well, here tonight, Tyler Rossi scores 17. Addie Dinu has 12 as Dubois holds off Orleans and picks up their first victory of the season. They're now 1-4 on the year, 1-3 on the season. Orleans led by the 13 points of Haley Powell. Brooklyn Knight off the bench with 9, and freshman Peyton Blanton had 8, but not enough as the Lady Dogs dropped to 1-3 on the year, now 0-1 away from home. And Dubois continuing their dominance, as they have with many teams over the last 22 meetings now. Dubois has taken 20 of those, including all of them here in the last 16 years at the Lady Jeeps Gymnasium. Next up for Northeast Dubois, they'll take on Wood Memorial on Monday, and as we talked about, Orleans right back in action tomorrow night as they travel to Bloomfield. JV action went the Lady Dogs' way. They're now 3-1 as they defeated Dubois tonight by a final count of 37-22. As always, we're grateful to our many advertisers who have allowed us to bring this game into your home car business, and to everyone that was tuned into tonight. By the way, I've got to get one more item of business in. Let's do that now. From the varsity all the way down to the elementary grades, your friends at Sky Doherty Trucking are proud to salute each student-athlete for their hard work and dedication in continuing the legacy of excellence that is Lady Bulldogs basketball. Good luck all season long from everyone at Sky Doherty Trucking in Orleans, keeping America's economy on the move. There we go. And, of course, a special thank you to the administration and coaches for both Orleans and Northeast Dubois. We hope you've enjoyed tonight's broadcast as much as it has been our pleasure and privilege to bring it to you. And we'll be right back with us again tomorrow night. We'll be at Guy Glover Gymnasium up in Bloomfield as the Lady Dogs take on the Lady Cardinals. 7:30 the scheduled tip, with our broadcast coverage to begin at 7:15. For our studio engineer this evening, Randall Ham, our statistician for tonight's contest, McKenna Purley, and for Kelly Schmidt, this is Mike Hamilton bidding you a fond and pleasant farewell from Northeast Dubois High School, where tonight's final score on the Busick Insurance scoreboard, the Northeast Dubois Lady Jeeps 48, the Orleans Lady Bulldogs 40. This is Orleans girls basketball.
WFLQ, thanks for listening. Tonight's presentation brought to you by Busick Insurance New Orleans, a home, farm, health, auto, life, and business. Call 865-2626. By All Brothers Transportation New Orleans, meeting the shipping needs of the area for over 3 decades. The Super Clean Car Wash, Maple Street, Orleans. Orange County REMC, offering affordable loan distance. Call 865-2229 or toll-free 888-337-5900. High school basketball, a presentation of Q100 Sports, and you can best show your appreciation for the broadcast by telling and patronizing our sponsors. You're listening to your power station for sports, Q100 WFLQ Prince Fred.